So I think there is audio in there. इसका audio disable. So happy Saturday, everyone. So today, as I was coming to this session at Shivangi's house, I was thinking about, we plan to do more in-person English sessions, but today we are very fortunate that Guru Maharaj's eldest son, Param Pujya Brijen Kumar ji, who was the true heir, his younger daughter and son-in-law, Jijaji, they are with us. And as I was entering the house, I was thinking that it's a powerhouse today. We are so very fortunate. And I think we'll straight go into meditation. But I wanted to talk just a little bit about Bade Tauji, Param Pujya Bade Bhaiya, Dr. Brijen Kumar ji. He emphasized on self-discipline. One of the subjects that I don't speak too much about because that's one thing I feel I have seriously lacking. But self-discipline, he used to say, is what drives this satsang. There are no prescriptions. What we have is that we evolve the rules that we want to run with ourselves from within. Self-discipline is what keeps us going. Motivation can get us started. Guidance can help us. The transcendental light, energy can really elevate us. But driven by these things, self-discipline evolves. This satsang is driven by self-discipline, which is collective. As a group, you practice. As a group, you absorb this energy. As a group, you elevate yourself, not just individually. So self-discipline, if we want to start in our lives, there are a few things that we need to think about. Start small. Keep something that you will definitely do, even if it is for 5 minutes. Consistency is very important. Self-discipline could affect your physical life in the sense of how well you eat, how you practice, how you even sleep. And more than that, what you think and what you do. Your behavior, how you interact with others. All of that requires self-discipline. Where that self-discipline comes from is the energy, which I would call the inner strength. So satsang evolves inner strength, and that inner strength gives us the ability to apply self-discipline on ourselves and on our actions. So with that, let's meditate on it. So I'll describe the process in English and Hindi both today. So first, close your eyes and sit in a relaxed posture, still and relaxed posture. That's very important. Because sensory input that's coming through the eyes, and every time our body moves, we want to minimize those distractions because we want to concentrate and focus inwards. Now think of the presence of this transcendental energy in form of light right here, right now. And that light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming one with this light. If mind wanders away, bring it back to this thought and this thought alone. That this transcendental energy in form of light is right here, right now, is entering our heart, enlightening it, and then distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming one with this light. We are becoming the light. तो हम एक सुखासन से बैठ जाएं और ऐसा देखें कि परमात्मा का प्रकाश सामने से हमारे हृदय में आ रहा है, रोम रोम में फैलता चला जा रहा है और हम उस प्रकाश में लय होते चले जा रहे हैं. मन इधर उधर जाए तो वापस इसी पे ले आए. और अभी जो प्रार्थना है वो म्यूजिक नोट्स में कन्वर्ट कर दी गई है. पहले म्यूजिक चलेगा, उसके बाद ये ध्यान चलता रहेगा. और जब परम पूज्य का आदेश हो तो हम आंखें खोलें. शुरू करें. So for these English sessions, we converted the prayers into music. So after meditation, we typically want to absorb all that energy that we have acquired. So we open up for questions, comments, and sharing of any experiences. But today, I wanted to first thank Jijaji and my sister to have come to bless us from India. Last year, when he came here, he talked about vibrations and how they affect our state. We were talking about self discipline. Self discipline, there is an age old approach to creating self discipline, which is called mantras, Naam Jap, and other methods, which is nothing but creating this vibration on an ongoing basis all day long sometimes. So I just wanted him to talk a little bit and enlighten us on this subject.
It is my good fortune that Guru Maharaj Sahib has given me this opportunity to join this group for meditation. First time in US. And why US? First time in my life. What Guru Maharaj Sahib did was not to start a new religion or a cult. It was just about spirituality. Whatever religion you are following, or in whatever God you may believe, spirituality and the principles of it, they remain same. They don't change. And actually, spirituality begins when religion ends. Religion divides, spirituality unites. Before going into the subject that dear Sanjeev wanted me to talk about, first of all, I would like to congratulate all Americans that now an American cardinal is elected as the pontiff in Rome, which clearly proves that spirituality has nothing to do with nation, color, creed, or continent. Secondly, see, whenever there is turmoil in the world and whenever the bad people start gaining upper hand in the world, God arms someone with his powers and sends him to this world to guide us, to correct us. Jesus Christ was one such man. Muhammad Sahib was another who propagated Muslim religion. And one of such persons, such super great human beings, great grandmasters, was our Guru Maharaj. We all live in the age of science. And it is natural we are learned and educated people, so we want to know the root cause of anything or everything that happens. And a basic question for anything we ask is how and why. Guru Maharaj Sahib was much ahead of his time and he explained this by giving scientific reasons. I would try to explain the same to you. Science knows something, but when it comes to spirituality, science is just trying to learn. Please understand, if science is not aware of some principle or the action, it does not mean that that action or the principle does not exist. Look at the case of Newton. He saw an apple falling and propagated the principle of gravitation. Was that the first apple that fell? Or did gravitation start the moment he saw the apple falling? No, it was there. You only became aware of that mechanism or the principle at that time. So, just because science is not able to answer something, it does not mean that that thing is not there. Now, this is a accepted scientific fact that we all have electric currents in us. Ask any neurologist if you have a nerve problem. What do? They do a test and try to see which of the nerves in your body is not carrying current properly, signals properly. How are signals propagated within the body? By signals, electric signals. And when there is an electricity, there has to be a magnet. So your body is also a magnet. And you have magnetism, you have electricity, so you have lines of force. Like if you keep a magnet on a paper and put iron pieces around it, you will see the magnetic lines of force and you will see how the curves are drawn. In the same way, for a human being, lines of force or aura or vibrations, whatever you call it, are there. Your head is the North Pole and the feet are South Pole. These vibrations attract or repel or resonate with someone. Now, going back to the example of doctor, there is a procedure called EEG, where they measure the vibrations or electric lines of force of your brain. And what do they find? How it is malfunctioning or where the problem lies. That is what a neurologist does. If you see the EEG of a normal person, it is very zigzag, full of ups and downs, and that is endless. If I have to take a EEG of God, how it will be? It will not be like mine that just zigzag, zigzag. No, it will be a straight line. Nothing positive, nothing negative. When I say positive and negative, I mean no happiness, no unhappiness. When you have the positive effect, you are happy. When you are having negative effect, you are unhappy. So God is in balance. It's just love. And you go to any religion, love is defined in the same way as Guru Maharaj Sahib has taught us, or like I am telling you. Now, what we have to do? When we do this meditation, which we did just now, what we were trying to do? We were trying to create resonance between our vibrations and the vibrations of the God. Resonance is a very powerful thing, students of physics will tell you. That is the reason armies never march in sync while going over a bridge or something, because the resonance may break the bridge, it will become so powerful. Same thing we are trying to do. Try to understand it from another point. There is somebody across the road whom you do not know. You just look at him, and either you will have a liking for the person or a disliking for the person. You don't even know him or her. How does this happen? Because your lines of force either attract or repel. That is how you feel about it. See, this is an endless topic. But actually, if you see, going across religions, you will find whenever they have tried to make an image or a picture of God whomsoever they worship, they always create a light in the heart. Why? Because that is the most powerful source of these vibrations. These vibrations are most powerful either in our head or in our heart. Guru Maharaj Sahib has selected the path of heart because it does not harm us. And that is how we go about it. This is something which science is trying to prove. Like in one of the Canadian universities, about 20 years ago, they carried out an experiment with Buddhist monks, and they asked them to start meditation, and they put EEG equipment, and they found when the meditation started, the vibrations of brain for all the group became very harmonious and very peaceful. That is what meditation does. And this is what we are trying to do. This has no religious boundaries. This is something which has no link to any religion. This is common. Like all sciences, at one point, they converge or translate to mathematics. Similarly, all sort of different paths of finding God, whether it is reciting some mantras, see even Muslim, in Muslim religion, they do recite Allahu, or in Christianity, you see world over. What is the prayer? Oh Father in heaven. Why? You chant in the same way. You try to create the same waves. Same thing when we come to waves can be there only in two forms. Either you listen to something or you try to see something. And we call it in Hindi yoga. Drashta yoga, either you see something or Shrota yoga. You listen to something. About 17, 18 years ago, I was in California. And my client friend asked me, there is about 150-year-old church in mountains here. Will you like to see it? I said, sure, let's go. So on a Sunday we went there. It was a very old wooden building and lot of priests were practicing. I had the chance to meet the head priest also. And I asked him, Father, what are these young priests doing? Oh, son, they are in meditation. And what do they meditate about? We try to listen. That was the answer. So, this spiritual way is common in all religions. This has nothing to do with religion. This is something much beyond it. Let us try to learn. Let us try to walk in this path and do something for making our own life and ourselves better and get the aim of completing this human life. May Guru Maharaj help us.
This is fascinating. So, as I said, I am feeling like I'm integral part of a powerhouse right now. So any questions here or online, this is an opportunity uh, to get, some questions answered, which might be becoming a mental block sometimes. Or One, if there are any questions or um, comments, just so. Oh wow, there are two questions in house here. Okay.
Sorry if it's not a very smart question, but why is it so hard to forgive? And how can we learn how to forgive? I mean, I'm not talking about what's happening in the world context right now, but just in daily life. How sometimes you were talking about mental block. Sometimes there's a mental block of it's hard to forgive and forget and move on. So, how does one learn to look beyond?
Okay, if I understood the question right, then you were asking why it's so difficult to forgive. Am I rephrasing it? Okay. All right. So it's not that difficult because suppose somebody has suppose somebody has done some wrong to you. Okay. Then what you need to do is find that why there are others who like him. There must be some reason. Yeah. So to do is what we need to do is to look for something good in that person. There must be something good, no matter you can find even the very hardened criminal, but there is something good in that person. So when you look at that goodness in that person, then you start forgiving. That's where that's where it begins. They're like somebody, even a hardened criminal, he has some sympathy at least to himself. He may be doing something good to the family. He may be doing something good. He is good to his wife and children. There must be some goodness in that person. If you look at that goodness in that person, then you start forgiving. And then, three things: forgive, forget, and move on. You cannot forget, you cannot move on unless you are forgiven. Uh, did I answer your question?
For some reason, I'm just remembering that this was more about anger, that we sometimes harbor anger. And that harboring of anger eventually leads to, we can't deal with it, so that's why we need to forgive, right? Because you're angry in some way, shape, or form. That's why that forgiveness is important. So Buddha said that anger is like hot coal, from the right, from real fire. If you pick up hot coal, what will it do? Burn your own hands. But Buddha said that anger is like hot coal. Why would you burn your hand? Once you realize that that's what you're doing, then you will forgive and forget and move on. Yeah, yeah, most of the time. Yeah, that somewhere something happened because of which you just, you know, you're holding on to that coal in your hands. And that visual to me is like, who would do that? But we all do it. Right?
You want me to narrate a personal incidents? Uh, you know, I take train. So in the train, the gentleman here, Uncle Ji, I was talking to him, and there is a guy sitting in the next seat. I generally, when I'm talking, my voice goes up without me realizing, and that guy seems to be like, his face was telling me that he's complaining. I got agitated. So after the after I was done with the call, I told him then, what's your problem? Right? This isn't, and we got into an argument. It went so bad. मैंने कहा, जाट है क्या? मैंने कहा, and then I am from Aligarh. And I get down. So it went that bad that let's get down. This guy tells me that get down at the train station, we'll settle. And now I am like little bit concerned that I am not the guy who can get into the physical fights. But anyway, we got down to our, at the train station. We went to our, now the reason I'm saying why it is important and how you can get over it. So I'm sitting for my meditation in the evening. I want to think about somebody whom I really want to think about throughout, and this guy pops up in my head. This becomes a problem for me. So after a couple of days, I see this guy standing on the platform because we are taking the same train. So once we boarded the train, I went up to him and I said, that day we got into a altercation. I'm sorry. So he said, I'm also sorry. And then, you were right, I am Jat. And we introduced to each other. His name was Dinesh. My younger brother's name was Dinesh. And then we are getting off the train at Penn Station. The guy who was with me, one of my colleagues, he said, hey, Pradeep, isn't this the guy who you were the other day you got into an argument? I said, now he's my friend. So my problem went away. I think most of the time it is because you are not able to see things from a person's perspective. Uh, and you think that this guy is doing, as uncle you was saying, right, something wrong to you, when this guy may not be at all concerned about what you are doing. One of the problems, we think nobody cares, nobody's thinking about you. We just start thinking the whole world revolves around us. Anyway.
So this question is probably for Jijaji, but while one is practicing this meditation, is it okay to try some other meditations as well? For example, Kundalini Jagran related breathing techniques.
One must remember somewhere in life, you must have some stability. A rolling stone gathers no mass. You want to try? Yes, you can. Why not? Guru Maharaj has never forbade anyone from doing anything what he likes. If you want to go to church, temple, mosque, you are free to do so. See, long ago, sometime in 89 or so, we used to live in Jaipur. I was posted there. And there were riots in the city between Hindus and Muslims. One Saturday when I returned from bank, because that was a half day working, I found about 10, 12 Satsangi Bhais in the house. And Badi Babiji and my wife were preparing food for them. So I chit-chatted with them. One of them asked me, "What do you think of riots?" So I told them what I thought. And then I asked, "Why do you ask?" Then with folded hands he replied, "Sir, we all are Muslims." Not that they were not doing, offering their namaz 5 times a day. They were doing it. But at the same time, they were practicing this. In the same way, if you want to try Kundi Jagran or any other method, please feel free to do so. But let me also tell you that Guru Maharaj did every way of meditation or mantras or everything himself. And then he decided that this was the easiest way to attain something in our life for our own Atmagyan. So this was the path he said you will go much faster. It is like somebody comes to Philadelphia by air, he sees a different path. Somebody drives from New Jersey, he sees a different path. Each path has its pitfalls, his own problems, and pleasures. No harm in trying, but you will come to know yourselves that yes, this is the right thing to do.
This is coming from more from a parent's perspective, especially kids who are being raised in North America. We've been blessed that we were born in India and raised in this environment. If we want to teach our children, what's the first step that would be teaching them? Because ourselves, like as far as I'm concerned, knowledge is really nil. So how can I teach? So what's the first step I'd be telling my kids?
The question was for kids in today's world, actually anywhere, I mean, more specifically here in US and Canada, and but I think it applies for every place these days. How, where should they start, and what can we do to get them more grounded? For example, I was born in satsang family. A lot of people who are born in satsang family get exposed. These days, that is what is missing around here. So what do we do?
This is more a question about bringing up children. Now, either you train them from the day they are a toddler, then you can mold them in the way you want. Or if you have missed the bus at that time, then it is better to tell them to make them understand that there is some power which runs our life, the universe, and everything. And then Don't try to push them into the way you want they should be. Try to make them understand this is Christianity. Here, this is majority religion. Another religion is Muslims. This is what they do. So many countries, they are in majority. And third majority is Hindus, what we are. Or best is, see now, as I understand, the temples in US, if you go there on a weekend, they also offer food. Take them there, let's have lunch at that temple tomorrow or day after. Let them just see, okay, this is the statue of Lord Ram, Lord Krishna. Try to give them some literature according to their age. It may be in the comic book form, it may be in some audio form. And from time to time, tell them little stories. Don't push them hard. And slowly they will follow what you want. To my mind, it is enough if your child, say 12 years, 14 years, 18 years, just while doing anything in or going out, does a pranam to whatever deity you believe in or Guru Maharaj's photo and goes away, that is enough. He will come in the right way automatically.
Wrap up now. So anything else from online? Otherwise, we'll, yeah. So, you know, one of the things that we should always do is keep some food which you want to offer while you're meditating, because that can really create a very deeper and consistent practice, because what you are energizing yourself with, the food also gets energized with the same energy. And once you do that, and when you consume that food, that stays with you for longer. So that improves your capacity, your, um, stays with you, and works within. And I think lately we have started talking about, what we eat matters. So food should be consumed as that is the light, as that is the transcendental energy, all the time, every time. So we'll do the same. I'll offer this to Guru Maharaj and meditate for 2 more minutes. And then, you know, the same energy, the same light, the same transcendental energy that we are receiving is received through this food as well. Let's meditate for 2 more minutes. We'll sign off from here now.